What is going on, everyone? Spegmeister here. Welcome back to part 8 in my legendary walkthrough for Halo Reach. In the previous mission, we flew around New Alexandria and helped provide support for the Marines scattered in the city. Now in this episode, we return to own a sword base and infiltrate the facility.
Noble 1, this is Noble Actual. Noble 1, go ahead. We need that base taken out, son. What's your status? Still outside. Thermal on the interior shows standing room only. We're gonna have to thin them out or we'll be way too popular. Copy that, Noble 1. Holland out. We got a job to do, so let's stay focused and get it done. 6, are you in position?
Affirmative.
Good. Execute.
Covenant owns this sector now, but they're defending for a major strike, not a small group infiltration. Eliminate all hostile ground-to-air defenses so the rest of Noble can land at Sword Base for the torch and burn. Keep a low profile. We take them by surprise, this will be a hell of a lot easier.
Spartan, we'll follow you. Falcon down. Watch for bodies.
Alright, so if you see a ghost on your far right, I would make him a early priority. Otherwise, if you don't have a shot in him, then I would go after the shade turrets as well as the jackal sniper off in the tower. With those major threats out of the picture, we can then focus on a couple of grunts on the right. Each of them is armed with a fuel rod turret, or with a fuel rod cannon. Now with them out of the picture, we'll move up, try to take down this ghost either by throwing a plasma grenade on it, or you can board it if it gets close enough to this boulder. We'll hop out of the ghost here and we'll headshot the remaining grunts on foot.
Structure's clear, Lieutenant.
Cat was right. It does seem like overkill.
Thank you.
Sending us back here for a simple demo op.
Oni thinks it's worth it. Want to tell you something?
It tells me things ain't so simple.
Before proceeding any further on foot, or if you happen to grab the ghost for a short period of time, you can arm a couple of these ODSTs with fuel rod cannons. That'll actually come in handy when you get on the Scorpion bit. In this part of the outpost, you'll find a crate with EMRs lined up, as well as a health kit that is out on the patio. And then as far as my loadout is concerned, I've got a plasma pistol in my secondary pocket, and then a DMR for the time being.
Looks like we got a Scorpion still operational, sir.
Getting in the Scorpion will destroy this platform. You can headshot the grunt that is at the forwardmost position before hopping in. That guy has a tendency to dish out a little bit of damage, which you really don't want, especially for playing on legendary difficulty. Creeping around this corner, you can destroy the shade turret. If you happen to see a ghost, you can target him. Further up the hill, this shade turret is a little bit more difficult to see on this, well, with the color saturation that you gotta deal with. But I would go after him before you go after the infantry in this lower corner. Then coming down the hill, you'll normally have a couple of ghosts that'll track you.
All tangos neutralized. AA guns dead ahead, Lieutenant.
Time to go to work, Noble 6. Take out those guns.
Approaching the AA guns, you can actually target those from a very safe distance. You don't have to approach this particular corner or spot. But the reason I like to come up here is so I can go after these banshees flying into the zone. Now, unlike the other shade turrets that we destroyed in Tip of the Spear, we do not have to go on foot and enter the structure to blow up the core. Instead, using our Scorpion, we can just fire 7 rounds into it, and that'll get the job done very efficiently.
First target neutralized. Falcon, stand by.
There's also a way to position yourself with the Scorpion and fire a single shot inside near the core, and that will also destroy the gun. I found that in the time you do that, you could easily just pour into it and destroy it from a safer distance.
Let's get my house, Spartan.
They sure gave it to Reach.
And just like before, keep your eyes to the sky for these banshees, and also keep track of the ghosts that are still remaining.
Noble team, Falcon group has landed. Hostiles engaged. Units working on getting the gate open. Really missing candidates about now.
Over on the other side of this hill, it's kind of a difficult shot, but if you can weave a round through, you should be able to destroy one or maybe even both ghosts if you're really lucky. But this is where having the Marines armed with fuel rod cannons will come in really useful. Now this section is the one that's going to give you the greatest headache in the Scorpion, unless if you already know where the shade turrets are positioned. So I take this really slowly. You'll notice that there's a standard turret far off in the distance. It's kind of hard to spot unless he opens fire first or if you know his position. Then on this hill you'll find a fuel rod turret that will fire once you turn this corner. So if you kind of travel backwards with the Scorpion and just creep around the corner, you can easily duck back into cover if he's already opening fire on you.
Area clear.
Got it. Gate's open, boss. 6, get over here. Cubbies all over the base. Tango. Tango, coming from the pad. Hand to get on. Double time at 6, come on.
Alright, so entering the base, you're going to face a mix of grunts, elites, and also some jackals further off to the right. Those jackals will mostly focus on your other team in the meanwhile, but as far as going about this, I like to focus on the elites or any grunts as they pour in from the left. As you get up to this point, be really careful not to press too far forward. If you're focusing on the infantry to your left, you do have some plasma turrets that will open fire once you come into view.
Have to go through maintenance. Elevator's out.
Way this place been done, we're lucky anything still works.
Reaching this corner, I would just slowly peek out. You can target the Jackal marksmen that are up on the second level of the walkway. Then you can go after the other grunts and skirmishers. Below this walkway there is an energy sword, but I don't really find that useful on Legendary. It would only come in handy if I wanted to attack this position in particular, but any further it's not really worth the payout. Now you have a couple ways you can attack this. You can either follow this walkway, or you can go up the central beam that is on the incline. The only real trouble with doing that is not only will you have these standard jackals and skirmishers, but you will have to deal with the marksman and a sniper as you get to the upper level. So feel free to take this slowly and pick off your targets one at a time, of course. This is probably the hardest part, is just trying to go up this incline if I still have some jackals remaining while that sniper is still in play. And there he is. You usually won't go any further beyond that point. Now during this whole point, I did switch out my plasma pistol for a Neil rifle. That's going to come in very handy for the defense firefight section that we have to cap off this mission.
Where are we going now, boss?
Dot.
Please proceed to the pre-arranged coordinates.
Cryptic.
You know as much as I do, Level 4. Coordinates nearby, Commander.
Alright, so first order of business when we enter the main section of Sword Base. This is where we came through early on in the game. What I do is move in with the Neil rifle, take out the engineer in the in the back behind these elites. Then from here I'll just stay by the door and try to safely pick off the remaining Spec Ops elites. I wouldn't worry about trying to go for a plasma combo on the elites. I would just use the standard firing method and allow a noble team to slowly pick away at their shields, then finish them off with the DMR. By the time you finish off the stealth elites, a general will appear further back. By this point I'll make sure to gather some more ammo for the DMR. If I need to grab more health, I'll make sure to do that as well. And a safer way to deal with this guy is just to simply plasma combo him, but I'm going to move in and try to get the assassination, which has been pretty typical so far, if you've been following my guides.
This is it. In here.
Looks like they got themselves cornered.
Or we're committed to the position.
I'm going with cornered. There's nothing here.
No load-bearing columns either. Sir, if we're supposed to blow this place, this ain't the spot to do it from.
Dot, check your vector.
Vector confirmed, Commander. We are precisely where Oni has directed. Apologies. Coordinates revised. Please confirm.
Revised?
By an AI of unknown origin, whose clearance is well above my own.
Well, it's pointing us a click and a half east and 2,000 feet underground.
I didn't bring my shovel, Commander.
Sir, I say we go AI free on this one. Obviously, these coordinates are junk, and the longer we go chasing.
What is this, Dot?
Our revised route, Commander.
All right, we came this far. Your new AI friend tell you anything else, Dot? Dot.
She's been expecting you.
That's perfect.
Apologies for the unusual security measures, Commander, but the stakes demand it.
Dr. Halsey. Casualty reports have you listed as...
Yes, well, as they say, news of my death has been greatly exaggerated. I only wish the same could be said of the rest of Noble Team.
We all do, ma'am.
It may please you to learn that the data module Noble 2 procured from Visegrad Station contained precisely what my scientist promised. A Latchkey discovery. It has unlocked, at last, the secrets of this excavation.
Not sure I understand.
Your orders were a pretext to bring you to me and have been overridden. You are here, Team Noble, to ensure the delivery of this vital data to a secure location.
Doctor, our orders are to destroy all sensitive material.
Others will handle the demolition.
I'll need to confirm this new directive with command.
Colonel Holland will be briefed. You belong to Oni now. Before you is an alien artifact neither human nor Covenant in origin, advanced beyond our comprehension, until now. Thanks to Noble 2, the decrypting of its data is nearly complete.
Whatever we're doing down here, we better do it quick.
Have your data ready, ma'am. We're coming to you.
The decrypting process is still underway.
I don't think you understand. We're out of time. If it isn't portable when we reach you, it's gonna get buried.
Bury any of it, and you bury mankind's best chance for survival. Commander, you've been wondering what your Spartans died for? They died for this. Please, buy me all the time you can.
Let's find Halsey's lab. Move.
Commander, I'm seeing turrets already in defensive positions.
Only was expecting company.
They sure as hell got it. Doctor, we have hostiles inbound.
Spartans, you cannot allow the Covenant to break through the door to my lab.
Understood. Let's give the doctor the time she needs.
Noble Team, there are 4 defense turrets to assist you in defending the lab. Get them online, and quick. When the turrets take too much damage, they'll shut down to recharge. You'll need to reactivate them when they come back online.
Noble 6, activate the turret to set up a perimeter.
Alright, so in the early going of this defense, we'll focus on getting these turrets operational. For starters, I'll activate turrets B and C, not in that order. We'll get over to this location and meet these grunts as they deploy from the dropship. Having them out of the picture, we'll go and activate the other 2 turrets.
I need more time. Whatever you have to do, do it.
There are a couple of Banshees flying around. I could go out of my way to hijack one of those and use that for the majority of this stretch. But I'm going to utilize some tactics to fight on foot for the early stretch. I'm going to acquire a Wraith and then hopefully I can get a Banshee if I have time. I'll get up to this point and deal with the jackals deployed from the dropship on the upper path. You'll have kind of 3 general locations that reinforcements will appear from. Then using the Neil rifle, we'll use this to clear out any brutes and grunts that come up the lower path. I'm expecting these reinforcements will be distracted by turret D, which we activated last.
Shutting down.
So after Carter announces the fact that a Wraith is on the battlefield, that's when I'll make my way over to this Wraith. We'll kill the gunner, then we'll jump on board, and instead of boarding the Wraith and punching out the driver, we'll just hop onto the hull, give it a few whacks, then we'll shoot out the driver, and we'll have a fairly good Wraith in our possession. As you face the infantry getting up to the lab, I would just keep your distance, let Noble Team kind of do their thing and keep them distracted, and you can just lob some rounds over the top of these barricades. If you find any of these turrets inactive, I would just go ahead and reactivate them.
Hold on, Spartans. I'm getting close.
Alright, so I already acquired a Banshee during this whole, well, while there weren't any enemies filtering in, so instead of using the Banshee, I'm going to stick to the Wraith a little bit longer. There's a good reason why I'm doing that in this particular order. And that's because it's not so much the elites that are going to be a huge problem, but it's the fact that we have a couple of ghosts as well in the mix. Although I'll admit these rangers are a bit problematic to face when you're fighting in a Banshee because they hop around so quickly, and it's a little bit more challenging to target them. On the lower approach, you will have an elite ultra that will come up the hill. And for that guy, I prefer to keep my distance, only because he can, well, not only can he throw a grenade, but he could also activate his armor lock, and he'll just be more of an annoyance. So throughout this whole part, even in the Wraith, I'm not going to be super aggressive against the infantry. I would just keep your distance and lob your rounds as often as possible. Unfortunately, my Banshee did despawn on me, so I will have to reacquire another Banshee if I want to go out of my way to complete this. So we'll see if we can get our hands on another Banshee. That is something that could happen if you wander off for too long and you don't use a vehicle. Well, a Banshee in my case at least. So we'll see if this guy will fly low enough for us to stun him, and then we'll board him. There we are. And from this point forward, we'll see if we can use this Banshee to clear out the mission. And if you want to play it really safe, I would destroy the Wraith, unless if you're playing co-op and you happen to have someone who could easily assign themselves to that vehicle and help you out. Now, only really big threat when you're fighting in the Banshee isn't the other Banshees, it's going to be any ghosts that these Phantoms deploy. So what I'm going to do at this juncture, as the Phantoms leave, I'll hop out, get onto this area, and I'll target the 2 hunters deployed by this particular Phantom. And if I still have any ammo left in the Spartan laser, we could use that to target the ghosts, or we can go after the Banshees if they're in view. In similar fashion, as I was using the Wraith, you also want to kind of keep your distance in the Banshee while you're fighting off the infantry.
The package is almost ready. Just a little more.
You certainly don't have to go out of your way to splatter any of these guys. I would avoid going after the elites, trying to splatter them in any way, because there is the possibility they could activate armor lock and ruin your day pretty fast. Alright, so going into the final wave of reinforcements, you'll have a couple of Wraiths, and then the central Wraith deploying troops by the station will feature a general, a couple of fuel rod grunts, and an engineer. Now the way I like to tackle this is to go after the Wraiths. They're going to be my #1 priority. And with them out of the picture, then we can clean up the remaining infantry. Do not have to clear out all the enemies to enter the base, but that is going to be the approach that I am going to follow. So just because Halsey says that doesn't mean you're in the clear yet. So if you want to, you can feel free to finish off the remaining reinforcements before you activate the switch. And if you happen to clear everything out, you can head on up to the lab and that will complete your run of the package.
What is this stuff?
Knowledge. A birthright from an ancient civilization. This AI is its custodian, and she has chosen you as her couriers.
Chosen? By an AI?
By this AI, yes. Her measure of you carries as much weight as my own, perhaps more. You are to take her to the UNSC shipbreaking yard in Azad. There, you'll find a Halcyon-class cruiser waiting to get her off-planet.
I understand.
Do you? Mankind is outmatched. When Reach falls, and it will fall, our annihilation is all but certain. Unless we can glean from this artifact a defense against the Covenant. A game-changer. On the level of the conical bullet in the 19th century, or faster-than-light travel in the 23rd.
And what if we can't?
An apt question, if there were somewhere else to place our hope. There is not. Take it, Lieutenant. She has made her choice. Do you have it?
Yes,
Say the words, please.
I have it.
Dr. Halsey, Noble 3 will escort you to Castle Base.
I require no escort, Commander.
June, make sure nothing falls into enemy hands.
I'll do what's necessary, sir. Good luck.
You too, Rifleman. I need a heading, Dot.
At 3 kilometers north, turn right, heading 050.
Which leads to?
The shipbreaking yards in Azod, the only off-planet extraction point left on this continent. Small-scale air attacks have decimated many convoys en route. An armada of Covenant cruisers is hastening to the site as well. UNSC cruiser Pillar of Autumn is awaiting your arrival.
Wouldn't be a noble mission if it were easy.
Alright, and that is going to do it for my playthrough of the package. Legendary difficulty, Iron Skull on. This was a fairly challenging mission, especially once you reach the firefight stretch at the very end. That defense is probably what will give people a little bit more grief compared to some of the other sections. Maybe besides fighting in the Scorpion when you have to take out some of the shade turrets approaching Sword Base, but anyway, a fairly decent mission from a gameplay perspective. It's definitely one of my favorites. So I hope you all enjoyed this walkthrough. Thank you all for joining me on this episode. I am very grateful for the support. If you want to check out any of my other guides on the channel, feel free to head on over and check out the playlists available, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.